Hey everybody, it's AJ from Disney Food Blog, and today we are going to head back to the landing in Disney Springs and do another food tour for you. So let's get started. Okay, I hope you watched our part one of this food tour, and there's just so many things in the landing to talk about that we had to do a part two as well. So let's start here with Joffrey's Tea Traders. Now this is a tea shop. And the reason I'm starting with this one isn't because its footprint is the smallest, but because they really have the smallest amount of items to purchase. You can have various teas, of course, and what's really cool here is that they can do a whole tea service for you. So they'll show you how the teas are brewed, and they'll do it specifically for you, and it's very custom and very cool. So if you guys know Joffrey's is the coffee company that serves Disney parks, resorts around the country, and they also do tea, and this is a place to get it. Next up, we'll head over to Erin McKenna's. This is Erin McKenna's New York City bakery, and Erin McKenna specializes in vegan and gluten-free and allergen-free baked goods, and there are some really, really great things here. We love the cupcakes, we love the donuts, and my favorite thing in the whole wide world is the cookie sandwiches with frosting in the middle. So great. And of course, every once in a while, Erin McKenna's will do some specialty items. Don't forget, this is a place where you can order a cake from as well if you need a cake for a special diet. Next up, we will head over to Cooks of Dublin. I love this place. This is the sort of quick service or counter service for Raglan Road. And so here you can get a battered cheeseburger, you can get chicken tenders, fish and chips, of course, hog in a box, which is really fun. And of course, you can get gluten-free fish and chips here too, and they do a really good job with that. Don't forget to get your vintage cheese and bacon dip. This is one of my favorite things in all of Walt Disney World. I love this thing. They took it off the menu for a little while, and we all complained so much that they finally brought it back. So that vintage cheese and bacon dip, so good. And don't forget to dip your chips in it. Next up is over at Morimoto Asia Street Food. This is the counter service location for Morimoto Asia. And here you're going to get all kinds of great stuff, from tempura to egg rolls, ribs, of course, those famous Morimoto, Chef Morimoto ribs, lo mein. I think they have some ramen here now you can grab. So lots of good stuff to eat here. We absolutely love grabbing a to-go order from Morimoto Asia. Of course, you guys know Morimoto Asia is one of my favorite restaurants in all of Walt Disney World, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. Okay, next, let's head over to Jock Lindsey's Hangar Bar. This is a bar and lounge, of course. Really, really fascinating internal decor here. Jock Lindsey, of course, was the pilot for Indiana Jones, and so there's lots of Indiana Jones themed decor elements here. I always mention you gotta check out the hidden R2-D2 because these are, of course, George Lucas films, and so they kind of did a little crossover into the hidden R2-D2 here at the Hangar Bar. There's outdoor seating and indoor seating. My favorite place to sit is that big, huge diving bell. It's really, really fun. It's kind of right in this dead center of your vision when you walk in. Really great circular table, one of my favorites. But definitely look around here. See if you can find some sight gags and some fun and interesting decor elements if you are an Indiana Jones franchise fan. The eats here are minimal, but they are pretty good. So because it is a bar and lounge, you don't have any kind of full menu items. It's mostly tapas size or appetizer size items. We love the pretzels. Sliders are good, tacos, lots of options to try in terms of appetizers. And the drinks here are really interesting as well. Of course, they're themed to Indiana Jones. So you can have Reggie's Revenge. You can have the cool-headed monkey. A lot of these also will come with souvenir mugs or souvenir cups, which you can pay a lot extra, to get those mugs along with your drink. But really, this place is so interesting. Definitely worth heading over on your Disney Springs visit. It's kind of the Trader Sam's of Disney Springs, I guess, sort of. It's that same sort of vibe. So definitely go check it out if you have the opportunity. Next, we are going to head over to Enzo's Hideaway. Now, this is a full-service restaurant. It is downstairs in the basement of the sort of Edison, Maria, and Enzo's Pizza Ponte complex of restaurants. Enzo's Hideaway is supposed to be sort of a Prohibition-era speakeasy, basically, but they do have a bunch of Italian food on the menu, full menu of Italian food. You're not getting just tapas or appetizers here. It's a full restaurant. So, pasta carbonara, rigatoni, all kinds of meats, etc. And the mixology menu here is going to be themed to the same time frame. So Prohibition era, but It's really, really interesting drinks, kind of an old-fashioned sort of drink menu that I think you're really going to enjoy. We really liked it. The Luciano Spritz is one of our favorites. It's a signature item there on that menu. Big deal here, they do have a Sunday supper now, so you can come and have Sunday supper. Good eats there, but remember that it's not all you care to eat. There's only one course that you can actually ask for seconds on that one. And they do have some interesting sundaes for dessert, so those are really delicious and very much photograph worthy as well. And it's just fun to sort of wander around here and see all the graffiti on the walls. It's really an interesting take on the Prohibition era. And just a quick FYI, Enzo's Hideaway, a lot of people don't realize this, Enzo's Hideaway shares a restroom with the Edison, even though the entrances to the two locations are very, very far apart. Well, they're relatively far apart. They do share a restroom, and you can walk right into one. You can walk right into the Edison from Enzo's Hideaway and vice versa. All right, let's head on upstairs to Maria and Enzo's. This is a full-service Italian restaurant. The theme here is that they built an Italian restaurant in an old airline terminal, and it really does look like that. It's a big, huge room. Looks like it actually looks more like a train terminal to me. It looks like a two-story train terminal, but they've got it as an airline terminal, and a lot of the decor elements will kind of indicate that golden era of air travel, like in the 1950s. And of course, the seating cast members wear costumes indicative, or they remind you of flight attendants from that era, so it's really fun. The menu here again is Italian, so I'm not really sure what differentiates Enzo's Hideaway and Maria and Enzo's. There's Italian food on both menus, so you'll have to try them both and let us know what you think. I prefer Maria and Enzo's, but I haven't been to Enzo's Hideaway since they first opened, so they may have cleaned things up a little bit down there, so I've got to go check it out again. But Maria and Enzo's is fine. It's good food, decent service. Chicken Parmesan's really good. I love the cheese fritters. That's my favorite. So definitely some place to check out if you're looking for Italian food and you are already in Disney Springs. All right, let's go talk about one of my favorite restaurants in Disney Springs, Homecomin. Homecomin is run by Chef Art Smith, who is a celebrity chef and a Florida native. And so what you're going to have here is comfort food done really, really well. And that includes some great fried chicken, hush puppies, hummingbird cake. There's some incredible hot honey here that they do, where they kind of mix hot sauce. It's house-made hot sauce and honey. They mix that together. Oh, it's so great. Definitely lots of good eats here. They have something they call thigh-high chicken and biscuits, which is fried chicken thighs drizzled in that hot honey on buttermilk biscuits, which is, that's incredible. It's an appetizer and it's huge, and you could fill up just on that. But anyway, so good. Dessert here, the hummingbird cake, the shine cake is really good. And a focus here of this restaurant is moonshine as well. There's a lot of moonshine on the mixology menu, so definitely check that out. This place also has a to-go order section, so you can go ahead and order some eats to go if you need to. All right, let's head over to Paradiso 37. This is a restaurant that has been there for quite some time. It was in downtown Disney, and now it's in Disney Springs, so it's been there for a while. This is kind of they call it Cuisine of the Americas. So they have a lot of tapas on the menu. They have burritos and things that you'd find in Central and South America, but they also have burgers, and they also have poutine on the menu. They call it Canadian poutine, but it's not at all Canadian poutine, which doesn't mean it's not delicious. It's still very delicious, but it's not really Canadian poutine. But anyway, they're trying to do a menu with things from North America, South America, Central America, and it's decent. My favorite things here are always, every time I've been, I've really enjoyed the appetizers and I've really enjoyed the drinks and desserts, but the entrees have always been a flop for me. So if you're going here, do appetizers, drinks, and desserts, and skip the entrees if you want to take my advice, which, what do I know, right? But that's been my experience every time I've been to Paradiso 37. They do a great job with those things, but not with entrees. There's some live music here. There is a huge tequila wall, really, which is awesome. They've got some really good, like I said, good mixology program, good drinks, good margaritas, things like that here. And I love the chocolate stack for dessert, just a heads up on that. So that's a really good one to try. All right, we'll head over to Paddlefish next. Paddlefish has an interesting history. It started out as a character meal way back in the day when this was Disney Village, I think it was called. I remember going to it, but I was too young to really remember what it was called. But I do think it was Disney Village. Anyway, back then, this was the Empress Lily, which was, of course, named after Walt's wife, Lillian. And so several restaurants have taken this location. And the interesting part about this restaurant, of course, is that it's a big old paddle boat. It's not really a paddle boat. It's really a building. It's actually on a foundation in the water, but it looks like a big old paddle boat and it's set up that way. So it's really kind of a unique dining experience. So it turned into Fulton's Crab House eventually, I think in 1996, and then it was changed into Paddlefish just recently in the last year or two. So Paddlefish now is of course a fish restaurant. It's primarily fish options, but they've got steaks and they've got other eats as well. The views obviously are fantastic, and here's a little tip about Paddlefish. They have a rooftop bar that you don't need reservations for, and you don't even have to walk into the restaurant to get there. There is a staircase over on the side. As you walk towards the front door, there's a staircase to your right. You can just walk right up to the rooftop bar and seat yourself over there, and then you don't even have to walk into the crazy that is the restaurant during, busy meal times. Just head up to the bar. It's a great spot to watch the sunset, have a few drinks. So the eats here are quite good. I've had dinner here 2 times. I've really enjoyed everything I've had. The burger is great. You can try the lobster roll. There's mahi-mahi. They've got a brownie milkshake that just looks fabulous. I didn't love it because I don't like when they blend baked goods into my milkshakes because they taste kind of grainy and gritty to me when you do that. But if you like a brownie blended into your milkshake, go for it. It's a really beautiful milkshake. But there's lots of options here. Definitely worth a try if you are looking for good seafood in Disney Springs. I, of course, would always choose the Boathouse over Paddlefish. I just have had better experiences over at the Boathouse, but Paddlefish is a good option too. And finally, I've saved the best for last. We're going to go over to Morimoto Asia. This is, of course, helmed by Chef Masaharu Morimoto of Iron Chef fame. It's a Pan-Asian restaurant. It's absolutely stunning inside. Super great for anniversaries or birthdays or celebrations. It's not cheap, but it is really good. So you can get that full Peking duck that's just killer. You can get that amazing imported A5 Wagyu here. Oh man, there's just so many good options. Everything that everybody has tried here that I've spoken to has loved it. So you'll have to let me know in the comments what you guys think and what your experiences have been at Morimoto Asia. The only thing they don't do really well here is dessert, which makes sense. Not a lot of Asian restaurants do dessert really, really well because they don't have a focus on dessert in that culture as much as we do in ours. But I don't love their desserts over there, but they do have some churros, which is weird, but they're still good. But Morimoto Asia, one of my absolute favorites. I love going there, and I go there every chance I can get. So that's the rest of the landing, and I love how much food they've packed into this one area of Disney Springs, and a lot of it is so good. There's really not too much going wrong here in this part of the of Disney Springs. So let us know in the comments what you guys think of these locations and of Disney Springs in general. I can't wait to hear what you think. Do you like it better than Downtown Disney? Do you prefer Downtown Disney? Do you wish that was back? What are your thoughts on Disney Springs? Let us know in the comments. This is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.